Well, hello, Amy from the future here. So you are about to see a video that's kind of split in two. The first section is going to be for shot 70. That's my first shot of Zepbound at 15 milligrams. And I just want to caution you, for those of you who are learning to take the shot or are longtime users, either way, don't do what I did. I don't recommend at all that you use the needle that I did after I kind of really bungled up my shot. But I didn't kind of want to hide this from people because these are the things that happen. And honestly, I kind of panicked when I was doing it because I was filming it and I knew I couldn't redo it for the camera. And I also was really concerned about sterility and I didn't want to take the medication out of the needle and try and get another syringe. And honestly, I thought I was out of syringes. And that was my last one because I actually am technically prescribed the quick pen at 12.5 milligrams. But I'm using up my stash of 15 milligram vials from the same doctor that were prescribed to me. So I'm using those up while I'm waiting for her to change my quick pen prescription up to 15 milligrams. So just cautionary tale. So at the end of this video, after I do my shot number 70 and I have a little chat, then I'll go over the weigh-in results for shot 70 because I'm really hoping 15 milligrams will maybe kickstart my weight loss again. So fingers crossed and we'll see. And I'll actually do my shot 71 on camera and do it right this time. I hope I'm not jinxing myself because I want you to be able to see what it's like to do a shot with a syringe. It is super easy, to be honest, but I'm just struggling because the needles that I received the last time I got my needles, they were actually pretty darn dull, and I was really struggling with getting them in the vial and then actually even getting them in to pierce my skin, which is ridiculous. So since I am on my last needle, I need to make sure that I get with my doctor on Monday and then I get some more because I'm going to need some for the end of this week. So, okay, so here we go. Shot number 70, week number 77, and then stay tuned to see the results. I am getting ready to take my 71st shot of Zepbound today. And I honestly, I can't believe that I am this far in my journey. I really wish I was further than I am. I have lost 62 pounds, so that is a great improvement. I have come from 304 pounds to 242 pounds. So, that is a huge amount of weight to lose. The sad part is I still have at least another 118 pounds to go. So I'm kind of in that place of struggle bus, what they call like the messy middle. I'm just hitting the messy middle. I still have 2/3 of my weight to go. And I am so eager to be able to get out there and live my life without this extra weight on my body. So I wholly understand. I'm being really impatient about it. And this week I actually on Friday was overjoyed because I got on the scale and it said 239 and I'm like, go me. Like I finally lost a little bit of weight. And then of course this morning on official weigh-in day, it said 242 again. I don't understand. Now I know my scale's not broken. I've tested it. I've tested it with weight. I've tested it with a cat. Well, today I'm going to try and take one of my 15 milligram vials of Zepbound. So I have these in my fridge because my doctor had prescribed them earlier in my journey when I was taking 10 milligrams because she wanted me to be able to go up to 12.5 or 15 without having to wait for her to give me a prescription. So she did let me have 15 milligrams. Now, I do want to point out, like, look how little medication is in these vials. This is $110 worth of medication, and look how little we get in this. I mean, it's crazy that cost me $110. So I'm gonna take this today and then we'll find out next week. I will film the second half of this video after I do my weigh-in on Saturday morning, and that should be, well, today's the 20th. So that should be June 27th, I will do my weigh-in. So for those of you who have not seen me do a vial, I think it's a little easier than the quick pen. only because I think this needle is much easier to inject with than using the quick pen itself. When you're like depressing that purple button down on the quick pen, hold on, let me grab my quick pen. So here is my used quick pen that I just finished using last week. So what I mean by like, I think this is more difficult to use is not necessarily like having to put the needle on the end or having to clean this. For me, it's like, okay, once you click it and you get it extended like out to here, so you do, I think, like 60 clicks, or it goes to the number 1 when you get it all the way out. But then when you're holding it and having to press it down, you kind of almost have to use 2 hands, because my hands aren't big enough to get my thumb all the way up where this dial or the plunger, that's the word, the plunger comes out. And also it is very stiff and it doesn't like just go down really easy. So I have to say that I think this is a little bit more difficult because of that. But other than that, I mean, I like the quick pen. I do get frustrated with the needle and vial a little bit because these needles that I personally have are not very sharp, so they don't go in the vial very easy. And then I tend to be one of those silly people that tends to get a decent amount of air in mine, and I sometimes have to fight with that. But let me go ahead and get prepared and show you how easy it is to use a vial, and you should not be afraid of taking this. These needles, you don't feel them really. It may even be just a tiny pinprick. Not even that. Like if you had sharper needles, you wouldn't even feel it at all. I will say the quick pen needles are sharper and they do go in much smoother, but yeah, you really don't feel this at all. And I should not have any blood or bruising, or I don't have a reaction to the medication on my skin, so I don't have after injection issues. And also for me, even if the medication's cold, it doesn't burn for me. I know a lot of people let it warm up to room temperature. I've always just taken it straight out of the fridge. I usually set it down while I'm eating. I'll take it out, usually like eat breakfast or eat lunch, and then take it as soon as I'm finished. So maybe it's up to room temperature by then, but I don't actively seek to try and get it up to room temperature. But okay, let me go through the process. So basically with the vials, the first thing you do is you pop off the lid, and that each version of the medication is color coded. So orange is 15 milligrams. So you just pop that right off. And then they do suggest that you clean the little gray seal on this. So I'm just taking an alcohol wipe and I'm gonna wipe the little gray seal the best that I can. Trying to keep this in focus for you. Okay, the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set this down, and I'm actually gonna clean my stomach, and I'm gonna do my upper stomach this time. I did my lower stomach last time. Hopefully this will make it easier for you to see, and I won't drop the camera for the 10th freaking time. Okay, so I've just used an alcohol wipe, wiped my stomach. Actually, let me put this down. Yeah, so I just wiped this area here. Actually, you know what? I normally do it twice. I don't know why. And I know you can't see me. But yeah, so I normally just wipe a big swath. Now my belly button is like right there. You just can't see right there. But I've got this little extra like upper stomach fat that is right here. So this is all fat that is going away slowly, but going away. Okay, so I take my needle. I'm going to take this off first. And they say that you should put air in the needle. Now those are the official instructions from Lily, that you should put air in the needle. Then you're going to take the needle cap off, and then you're going to put it in the middle of the seal. So that inner circle, just think of it as a bullseye, like with a dartboard. So let's see if I can do this where you can actually see it and I can actually get it in. That is like half the battle, right? Because I can't see what I'm doing. Okay, there we go, right in. And then you're supposed to inject air in it. Now do not flip this upside down and get the air all in the medication. So you put the air in the bottle, And then you flip it upside down. Oh, Lord, Amy, see, this is why I can't have nice things. Oh, you know what? I must have done too much air, so it's coming out. But look, so now the medication pulls out really, really easy. And yep, I got too much air in it because it is just pushing right in. See, this is why I can't have nice things. This is why I don't. Lordy, Lordy, Amy. I have a whole gigantic air bubble, and I have never done that. So just tap, tap, tap. See, this is the one part that I always fail with the needles, because you need to be careful that you don't bend that needle tip, but I'm gonna have to put some of this back in. But do it gently, because you don't want to get the medicine frothy. Lord, Amy. Okay, so now that I got the medicine in, look at me. See, this is what I do. This is why I shouldn't be allowed to do things on my own. I'm actually just putting my needle over a alcohol pad, and I just pushed all the air out. You see how I got almost all the air out? Hold on, let me get the rest of it. Okay, so I didn't lose any medication, but of course I bent my needle, so let me just put that back in. Oh, Lord. So these are, okay, so I guess Amy just needs to run a master class in all the things that can go wrong when you're giving yourself an injection. Now, it says on the box, you're only supposed to give yourself 50 units, right? That's the dosage, but there is extra medicine in this, and I always take the extra medicine. Now I need to push it up to get the air bubble out, and that took it right up to 60. And honestly, people, this little bit of air bubble in that is not going to hurt you. What's going to hurt is if I break this needle off in my skin. So I have to be really careful, because I bent that, and I shouldn't be using it, but I don't want to risk contaminating the medication by taking it out of the needle. So I'm going to be really careful here, and I'm going to inject this. The syringe does not look straight because I'm going in straight with the needle itself. And oh my gosh, these needles are so dull. Okay, there we go. So I'm just going to keep it at an angle, because my needle is at an angle. I'm just going to slowly push in, but it is so much easier to inject and push this plunger down than the quick pen. So hold it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I know it's the instructions say you only have to do it 5 seconds, but I always do 10. And then if you feel like it, and I usually always do, I don't even know where I injected myself, because like there's no blood or anything. I just gently glide the alcohol pad across my stomach. And you'll see there, I do have a little red spot, but that is not from the injection. That is a birthmark. So yeah, so there we go. So now that I've taken my shot with, always a little bit of flair, because that's just what I do. We will have to see, am I going to lose weight this week now that I have moved from 12.5 to 15 milligrams? So fingers crossed that I actually see those numbers moving on the scale. Now, I have been making sure that I am eating within a calorie deficit, even though I'm not keeping track. I'm pretty much eating almost the identical things that I was eating when I was keeping track. And I'll get back to tracking hopefully in the very near future. I just needed a mental break. And also, I'm still keeping at my minimum 10 minutes of movement per day, and I'm doing fantastic at that. Every single day, I've been able to get up and get in at least 10 minutes. A lot of times I'm getting 15, which is great. Now, I know that I need to increase that, and I'm really hoping that working on increasing that will maybe hopefully jumpstart my weight loss again. So I know it's just going to be seconds for you, but it's going to be 7 days from now. Let's get right into weigh-in number 78, shot number 71. Did I lose weight? Well, let's see. Okay, so now that you've seen me do my shot number 70 and what a disaster that was, but I felt that I didn't feel that I wanted to hide it from anybody because this is real life situations. I know some people will be annoyed and like, why did you put that out? That's ridiculous. Uh, but whatever. Like, you know what I mean? This wouldn't be an Amy Loses It video if something didn't go wrong when I was doing my shot. But for the results of week number 77 of weight loss and shot 70, I'm a little bit stressed, to be fair, because everything was going along swimmingly. I weighed in on that Saturday, June 20th at 242. And then on Sunday and Monday, I weighed in on 242. And then on June 22nd, no, sorry. And then on Sunday, I weighed in at 242. And then on Monday, June 22nd, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, June 25th, I weighed in at 240 for 4 days in a row. I was so ecstatic and over the moon. And on the live stream, I was like, oh my gosh, the scale is moving. Like, yay, 15 milligrams, yay. But sadly, on Friday and Saturday, both days, I weighed in again at 242. And today is Sunday, and I weighed in at 242. Yes, I'm doing my shot a day late because I couldn't be, as they say in the UK, arsed to get off my butt and actually take my shot. I don't really know how to call my weigh-in because usually I do, over a 7-day period, I do the weight that appears the most. And so I had 4 days of 240. And yeah, now I'm up for a couple days in a row to 242, but there's no way that I ate an extra 7,000 calories and put on that much weight. So I'm going to call it at 240, and we'll just have to pay the consequences on the next weigh-in if it doesn't go back down. But fingers crossed, because usually like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday are my lowest weight days of the week. So we'll see how that happens. But I'm going to go ahead and do my shot. I'm taking shot number 71. And this will be the start of week 79 of my weight loss. So I'm just finishing week 78, starting week 79 and taking my 71st shot. Can you believe 71 shots? Like freaking crazy. I really thought I'd be so much further along in my journey, but you know what? It is what it is. I just got to keep on keeping on. So I have alcohol pads. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my little vial. You just pop the lid off. Now, each of these are color-coded, 15 milligrams, happens to be orange. And I'm just going to clean the little seal here. And you just I just ball that up and kind of wipe around. And then you can wipe around the edge. Just try not to get your fingers on it. That's what I'm trying not to do. Yeah, so just clean that and you can set it down and let it dry. And I just usually use this to clean my fingers, even though I have just washed my hands. So make sure you're washing your hands. Just proper hygiene to, just the most that you can do the most that you can to prevent contamination. Now, I'll show you, oh, hold on. Now my hand is wet. There we go. So this was the needle from last time. You see how bent that is? Because getting it in the vial, it bent it. And so I did manage to use this, but I highly recommend that you don't use this because the risk of this breaking off in your skin is just too much. So I have a brand new needle and you can see like the cap is still on it. It's not used. It didn't come in an individual sealed package like some of them that I've gotten. But I hope, I'm assuming this is sterile. It came right from Gift Health. So what's next? You're actually supposed to put a little bit of air in your needle syringe. Now, last time I made the mistake of going all the way to 100, which then created too much air pressure in the vial. So I'm just going to go halfway to 50 because they're supposed to be 50 milligrams or cc's, milliliters that I am pulling up in this needle. So I'm just going to go halfway and let's see if we can get the medication drawn up. See if I can get this to focus. So I got to get it in the center there. And okay, so I'm not going to be able to do it this time with the camera seeing it so I don't damage the needle. Okay, so you see I've got all the air, but you do not want to put the air in with the medication that direction because it will froth it up. So put the air in, flip it back upside down. Oh, see, it's creating a lot of air pressure there. So hold it and then flip it so that way the syringe is not getting air in it, and then just it easily draws. So I'm supposed to draw to 50, but to be fair, everyone, I draw all of the medication in the vial. I know that they leave you extra just in case. Yep, there we go. You can see that my needle was above the medication and I got some air in there. There we go. But you can see as you're starting to draw air, just push it back in the vial. But there we go. So I got 60 out of that. Now I'm going to actually put this back in. I shouldn't have pulled this out because I just need this to rest. I need that to rest in the vial while I take a moment to adjust the camera and clean my skin. And then we'll do the shot and not bungle it up this time. Okay, hold on. Okay, there we go. I think that works. Now, I have been doing my upper stomach right here. So I think I'm going to go down a little lower. So excuse the underwear, but hey, like this is real life. So I'm going to go down. Oh, these underwear. So I'm going to go down a little further. I know this is hard to see. And just do a big swath of cleaning. And you know what? I always do this twice. I don't know why. But I always clean the area twice. Let me move the camera back a little. There we go. Okay, so I have the syringe resting in the vial so I didn't contaminate this needle. And then I'm just going to insert this. And that went in really easy. I must have just gotten a completely dull needle last time. But yeah, so just gently take your time. Don't rush it. Inject the medicine. And then we're almost down to the end. And then when you get to the end, just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Some people say 10, 7, 8, 9, 10. Like I hold it till 10. Pull it out. You'll notice there's no blood, no nothing. And then I always like to just gently, not even wipe, just brush the alcohol across my skin. And that is it. So look at me. I actually did it correctly this time. So I want to thank you so much for hanging in there with me throughout this weight loss journey. I know it can be frustrating because I get really frustrating. I am making an effort to get more movement in, so really be mindful of what I'm eating and just keep on and keep this journey because the one thing I can't do is I cannot gain this weight back. End of story. Like, no. So I'm going to keep taking the medication and just hold on for the future. Hopefully there will be medication out there that can help jumpstart my weight loss again, if even 15 milligrams doesn't do it. But so we're recording 240 pounds. So that would be a 2-pound loss. That would be a total of, hold on. I didn't even put it in my in my worksheet. 240. So that would be a total of 64 pounds, and which, you know, I had this goal before, I think the February cruise to get down to 65 pounds lost, and that didn't happen. But, you know, I guess we'll have to see how it goes. I really have that I wouldn't say it's outrageous goal. It's 35 pounds that I'm really looking to lose by the end of the year, actually January 23rd. And that's really not that much weight. Just my body is just not cooperating. But just, hang in there with me. I'm really striving for that and praying that will happen. So I hope to see you again on my live stream Thursday nights at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We all get together and chat for an hour, and everyone tells their stories of weight loss and how they're doing, and listen to me yammer on. So thank you so much for joining me today at Amy Loses It, where I am on a weight loss journey to lose 180 pounds. And I'm hoping that I'll get there before I absolutely lose my mind or throw my scale out the window. So have a fabulous day, and I hope to see you again very soon.
4 cats, 1 scale, and a suitcase to pack. Zepbound in hand, there's no looking back. Cruising through this journey, non-scale victories divine. But can Amy lose the weight without losing her mind?